You can find links to the products in this video in the description of the video.
Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Today I want to talk to you about two Predator products that I use and I think you guys can benefit from. If you don't have a Predator cue, you can still get very similar items, but they will be slightly different. So the first one is the Predator extension. Now this comes in different sizes, which I'll put on the screen. But what I like about this is it has a unilock, so you can get it on and off your cue very quickly. So if you have a Predator cue, this is what happens. The butt end of your cue screws right off, and then you put on a new piece, which replaces the butt that you normally would have on the cue, and then your extension screws right into it. This is going to eliminate some of those shots where you're stretching too far, where you need the bridge. Honestly, a lot of the shots you guys are using extensions for, you probably should also have the bridge, but this does eliminate a lot of those situations. It does come in different lengths, and it's ideal if you want to be one of those guys that emulates Shane and Earl and keeps the extension on your cue, because this is so seamless, you don't even realize that it's on there. It's not flimsy. It doesn't fall off because it is made to fit all of these Predator cues. I am going to check because I think I might have my actual first extension that I ever bought. So hold on. I know there are some people out there, especially young guys who haven't been around for a while, that think Earl Strickland invented the extension somehow. There's plenty of footage of players 20 years ago putting extensions on their cue, even custom extensions like this. But this is the first extension I ever owned, and I want to show you guys this because it is about 20 years old, and it was very innovative at the time. What this guy did, and by the way, there were manufacturers making extensions at the time, but this is the first one I owned because it was cheap. This guy took what looks like a broomstick, and he would cut them off, and then he'd put this cap on the end and put a cushion inside so that what happened is your cue would slide in here, and there you had an extension. Now, it wasn't solid as something like the Predator extension, but you could keep it on your cue the whole time if you wanted to. I had this back and forth with someone in the comments talking about the first person to use an extension, because I had a video about Shane using the extension, and he said, well, you should have called it Earl's. Do you want to use an extension like Earl? Well, Earl didn't invent using the extension. This is 20 years before anybody ever saw Earl use the extension. Earl is the best known to keep the extension on his cue, but people have been using extensions at least for 20 years that I know about. So extensions were not invented by Earl Strickland. He is the best known of his generation to keep it on his cue. The next thing I have here is the Predator weight kit. Now, I haven't seen weight kits from other manufacturers. I assume they're out there, and you can buy weight bolts, obviously, individually from some retailers. But the Predator weight kit is unique in that it has its own mechanism type. So if you have a modern Predator cue, you can go in and easily change these bolts. And you're not just changing the weight from, say, 18.5 ounces to 19.5 ounces to 21 or whatever. You can make very minute changes in the weight of your cue. So you can go 19.75. You can go 21.25 if you like. You have very small increments that you can work with and fine-tune your cue. And if you're like a lot of players, including myself, the weight that you play with in your cue may change from year to year. I know that when I was coming up, I played with the absolute heaviest cue that I could get my hands on. I had a 21-ounce cue, and I actually added weights to it, which wasn't easy to do. But it broke down into numerous parts, so I was actually able to put little rings between it. Anyway, my cue was probably about 23 ounces. And then as I got better and better, my cue got lighter and lighter. The heavier cue may feel better in your hand, so that might be what you want to go with. I have heard it said that lower level players should play with a heavier cue and higher ranked players should play with a lighter cue, because at that point you have better control over your stroke and things like that, and the heavier cue is kind of like a training wheel for your cue. I don't know how true that is. I do know that when I was more of a beginner, I had a heavier cue, and now I use a 19-ounce cue almost across the board. And I have occasionally made minor adjustments to the cue just to test it out and see how things go. But right now, I'm pretty solid at 19 ounces. And if you find yourself changing cues because you like different weights, maybe during different games or whatever, this might be your solution here, is to just take your favorite cue and adjust the weight as you see fit. So those are two things that I use that I think should be beneficial to you guys. This is not a paid promotion. I bought my weight kit with my own money. I bought my extension with my own money. Predator does currently sponsor my channel, but they don't tell me what to say in these videos. And once again, these things were bought with my own money. So take it for what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check this one out over here. Hit me in the comments, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't done so already.